Welcome to Business Insight Fredericton. I'm Krista Ross, CEO of the Fredericton Chamber of Commerce. Today, we're talking to startup businesses in Fredericton. Some of the segments in today's episode were filmed pre-pandemic. Our first guests are with Devil's Keep Distillery. This Fredericton-based firm has won 3 international awards for their vodka, and they're not stopping there. Joe, tell me a bit about your business.
Yeah, so we are Devil's Keep Distillery. We have 2 products right now. We have our flagship vodka, which is a world-class award-winning vodka, and a new product, our gin, which is absolutely wonderful, and hopefully that everyone is out enjoying it right now. We also have whiskey, but whiskey will be several years before it's ready, simply because whiskey needs to barrel age.
Tell me about the awards that you've won.
Yeah, so we've won 3 awards at this point. Our first award was a platinum award at the SIP Awards in California. It's a world-class, it's a worldwide competition. Out of 150 vodkas entered, we finished 9th overall. We also won an innovation award at the same competition, the SIP Awards, and we also won a gold medal at the World Vodka Championships.
Your business has a unique name, Devil's Keep Distillery. Where did the name come from?
Basically, so monks in the 1600s made aquavit, so a form of alcohol from grain, leftover grains, and what they would do is they would barrel it in oak barrels, and every year they would go back to the barrel and see that some was missing. And they checked with the other monks, did you drink it, did you drink it? And it turns out they all said, no, I don't consume. So they figured, well, it can't be evaporation because we don't know what that is. And we're men of religion, so we figured that God must have come down and blessed our barrels. But taken a cut from that came the term angel share. So every year you lose a little bit to evaporation through the angel share. Well, if the angels take their share, the devils keep the rest. So we are the Devil's Keep. When we incorporated, there were only 4 distilleries in New Brunswick, so we were the 5th. And we recognized that there was a great market opportunity there.
How many employees do you have here at Devil's Keep?
We have 1 right now, and then we have a bunch of free labor in myself, my wife, Ray, and his wife. Ray's wife's a graphic designer, so she's designed our labels, and my wife has given me great support, helping the business when she can, and giving me the time. We have an autistic daughter. And that's why I started the business, because I recognize that she needs a house to live in when I'm dead and gone.
We are now stripping alcohol out of the mash, and very shortly we should see it coming out of our spout here.
Tell me a bit about the process you use. Is it unique, or is it the same for every distillery?
It is essentially the same for every distillery. The neat thing is, there's so many components that go into it. We don't mind sharing our story and telling what's in our vodka. We are 100% New Brunswick grain, all from the St. John River Valley. We use 60% corn, 30% barley, and 10% rye.
So if you were bottling at full capacity, how much production can you do each day?
We can do about 200 bottles a day.
On a weekly basis, if we were mashing, stripping, and polishing 5 days a week, we would create about 45 liters of finished product every day.
As the mash heats up, it will boil and it will go up through this little plate section.
When you are producing different products, so you've got vodka and you've got gin, do you balance the production, or can you do the same amount of each?
We do about the same amount of each. Right now we do a vodka run a week and we do a gin run a week.
Describe your main clientele or your main target market.
So we sell, I would say, about 90% of our product through NB Liquor. We're working on getting into the agency stores, so the mom and pop shops that have the liquor stores within them. So the number 1 consumer of vodka worldwide is females 19 to 30. So that is by default our demographic.
So do you have swag to promote your business?
Yeah, we bought a lot of sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats when we first started. We're a small organization, so I like to say these sweatshirts are the only billboards we can afford.
How do you get restaurants and bars to carry your product?
And I find if you can go in with a few samples and really get a hold of the person that makes the decision, hand over a product, we're very comfortable with our product. We're pretty sure it tastes good, and if they can just try it, they're going to like it.
one of the great things about our product is we sell every ounce that we make.
Okay, so lots of opportunity for growth then.
Absolutely, and we believe that we can somewhere between double and triple our sales in 2020.
Joe, what made you decide to become an entrepreneur?
Since the age of 11, when I started my first lawn mowing business, I've had the bug. I love, I'm an accountant. I love the entire world of entrepreneurship. Are there highs and lows to it? Absolutely. The highs are higher than anything you experience, and the lows can be the lowest of low.
So we'll all condense, and then we will get our flow right out the parrot in about, like Joe said, about 2 hours.
Being an entrepreneur, you can chart your own path. So if you were talking about your path, where do you see the business in 3 years from now?
3 years from now, ideally, we will be in a couple other provinces. We will have sales that are about tenfold what they are now. We will have coolers, the ready-to-drink cans that are ready to go. One of our flagship coolers will be Lucifer's Lemonade. Ideally, we'd be into the Ontario market at that point. Ontario is the largest single buyer of alcohol in the world, so it's a great opportunity there.
And we actually just bought this unit right here about 6 months ago. And it seems like every time we buy a new piece of equipment, we're already looking for the next expansion because everything we produce, we sell right now. So we're feeling really good about the quality of product we're producing.
What are the challenges that you've faced starting this business?
There are absolutely challenges on a day-to-day basis, but it's what makes it fun.
Are there any challenges that you think are unique to startups?
We face those challenges. You know, Ray and I both had done a little home brewing, a little winemaking, but never distilling because it's illegal to distill at home. So yeah, especially for us, that initial recipe and the initial execution of that recipe, it was absolutely a challenge. But we've managed to persevere, and I think we've done a pretty good job of it.
So as a startup, do you think it's important to have a team of experts around you, legal, accounting, perhaps a banker or HR professionals? What types of people do you need around you as a startup?
We absolutely believe that every startup should surround themselves with mentors that can help drive their business.
3, 2, 1, there we go. Fresh alcohol.
So when people start businesses, there are lots of people that want to give them advice.
Yes.
What is the best advice that you've been given?
Advice typically will come down to opinions. The key is to see that, you know, if the more people you ask, the more you'll see consistency in answers.
If you were going to give a new entrepreneur some advice, what's the advice you would give?
I would insist that they persevere. I would insist, though, that they not be afraid of failure. You can make mistakes. As long as the mistakes aren't too dire, you can keep on keeping on.
Fredericton is known as being a startup community. What organizations have helped you within our ecosystem?
So we've had help from the Chamber, from agencies such as Planet Hatch, Ignite Fredericton, ONB, ACOA, BDC, NRC, PEDAL, and I think that's it for the alphabet soup. Overall, I think there's great opportunity for our kind.
Welcome back to Business Insight Fredericton. In this segment, we will be speaking to an exceptional entrepreneur who started a tattoo removal business. She's the first in Canada to use this technique, and she's going places.
This type of technology is using acoustic sound energy, so we're only using a really small fragment of actual laser energy. Disappearing Ink focuses solely on laser tattoo removal, editing, and fading tattoos down for cover-ups. We use the most advanced laser technology, and we work really closely with tattoo artists to make sure our customers end up with tattoos that they're really excited about and proud of.
How did you get started in this business, Angela?
I've been a laser technician in Fredericton for 12 years, and as soon as this advanced technology became available in Canada, I knew that there was a huge demand for it, and I knew that there was nobody else doing a business that was solely focused on tattoo removal, so I knew then that was something that I wanted to do.
I have no tattoos, but I have heard that it hurts a bit to get a tattoo, but what about getting it removed? What does it feel like?
I would have to say the sensation feels electric. It feels a little snappy, and there's an essence of almost a speckly sensation, almost like a sparkler or grease from a frying pan.
Or like a snapping of an elastic band.
The sensation is very manageable. It only takes a few seconds, and when it's done, it's done. It doesn't have a lingering discomfort. Clients are always impressed when they try a test patch during a free consultation. We offer a variety of options for people to reduce the sensations. So we offer medical grade numbing cream, we use ice packs prior to the treatment, and we also work with a medical grade cold air machine to help reduce the sensation.
Tell me how the procedure actually works. What happens? How do you get rid of a tattoo?
What's happening when the laser goes over your tattoo, the laser energy is attracted to the pigment in the tattoo ink, and it's actually causing the pigment to fragment, to break up into small pieces, and your body's immune system, your circulation is flushing it from the area.
She cleans everything off, makes me comfortable, gives me chocolates, gives me a blanket, and she's super patient and super sweet.
I got Judge Judy tattooed on me in remembrance of my grandmother. I got Judge Judy knitting. So I think it's a great process. I know that other places don't do it quite the same, so knowing that I'm actually getting the most pain-free tattoo removal that I can that's what I really want.
Is it just the machine, or is it the Angela Seymour magic?
The Lutronic Spectra laser has the perfect combination of sound energy and laser energy incorporated together to successfully and safely break up tattoo ink. But there's a lot of factors that we're looking at with every individual tattoo. We're always assessing the depth of the ink, the quality, the density of it, where it is on the body.
Does it really work? Can you really get rid of a tattoo?
Yes, 100%. So complete tattoo removal is probably about 50% of what our clients are requesting.
Would you say the majority of your clients are coming in to, remove someone's name, or are they removing a sleeve?
There's a huge variety of clients seeking tattoo removals.
And it was meant to be a long time ago a sun, and now the looks of it have changed. It kind of doesn't really look like a sun anymore.
It's very faded.
This is actually a very old tattoo, so don't know if it makes a difference in the time it'll take, but Angela thinks that it should be, we're right on track to having it fully removed.
So have you felt any discomfort having the tattoo treatments?
Not at all. Let's face it, if you can get a tattoo, you can get it removed.
How long does it take to remove the average tattoo, or is there an average tattoo?
Every tattoo is so unique and different. So there's certain tattoos that are close to the surface of the skin, they're more shading style tattoos, or they're 10 or more years older, and that's really exciting because sometimes those tattoos can achieve complete removal within a month or two. And there's different types of tattoos. If they're recently done, they're professionally done, the quality of the ink is a lot higher. Sometimes those tattoos may take a year and a half, possibly even up to 2 years to completely remove.
So when you have a treatment, do you end up having to deal with it with a medicated ointment or anything like that, or what's the aftercare?
Well, most of the times when I leave here after that, Angela has already put a little patch on it to just cover it up, just so that it doesn't get anything into it, just for the rest of the day, and it's not too warm. And then when I get home, I remove the bandage, and then I just leave it to air itself. And lots of times I'll apply, just clean it up with soap, and sometimes I put a little bit of the polysporin, but most of the times I really don't. It's just good as it is. Once you're done, you're good to go.
Disappearing Ink is a company based in the States, so they have 2 locations in Pittsburgh and they have a 3rd location in Hawaii. They've been operating for 8 years and their brand is amazing.
It's pretty incredible then that you've brought the Disappearing Ink brand into Fredericton, and I guess you're the first in Canada.
Yes, so tattoo removal, like I said, it's been mainstream in bigger cities and out west for at least 7 or 8 years now. So we're proven to kind of be maybe about 5 years behind trends with different technologies and industries. So it's really exciting that this is now available for people.
Angela, what made you decide to become an entrepreneur and start this business?
Well, I guess who doesn't want to own their own business and just be in the driver's seat of all the potential opportunities for growth. I find that so exciting, looking at the future and thinking what's possible in the next 3 to 5 years.
If you had a crystal ball and you could say where this business is going to be in 5 years, what do you see?
is to bring people on board to work with me, to help spread the message that tattoo removal is safe, it's affordable, it's effective. So bringing people on board to help with marketing, to help with booking appointments, and definitely bringing someone on board to help do laser treatments beside me. I would absolutely love to have more than one location. So we have a lot of clients that travel to see us. So we have clients that come from northern New Brunswick and travel from Bathurst, Campbellton, Miramichi. We have clients that come all the way from Halifax, from Cape Breton, PEI. So being able to have more than one location so it's more accessible for people.
Tell me about how you found accessing capital or accessing funding for your business.
I would say that's probably the most challenging part of my startup. I have been saving for this for like 5 years, so I had about 20% of my own money saved to put towards the equipment, the laser equipment. And I naively thought that would be enough. I thought it would just be like buying a car and I could do it within a week to 2 weeks. And it actually took me 4 to 5 months. So I went through a lot of rejection with banks and all different sorts of lenders. And I eventually ended up getting financed by the laser company. So
Wow.
yeah, so I'm extremely lucky and I'm really grateful.
I would suggest that that company had a lot of confidence in your ability
Yes.
to grow a business.
Yeah, no, we have a really great relationship and they just really believed in me. So they made an exception for me and just made it happen.
We return to Business Insight Fredericton. I'm Krista Ross, your host.
Awesome.
In
So
this
is our
segment,
ball
we're
machine.
at
So basically
Educated
what it
Beards,
does,
a
it
Fredericton-based
solids,
company
so like
that
beeswax.
creates natural beard oils and products.
We are Educated Beards. We manufacture and distribute all natural and organic men's grooming products.
The name Educated Beards just sounds so classic. How did you come up with that name?
Well, it's kind of twofold. One is being a holistic nutritionist. It is my life's desire for everyone to take it upon themselves to really educate themselves, which includes things like reading labels, knowing the importance of not only what we put inside our body, but also of what we put on our body.
Yeah, and then the other part would be from the amount of research that went into each single product, because Alicia is a holistic nutritionist, so she's done a ton of research on the purpose and the benefit of each ingredient that went into the product.
How did you get started?
Well, Kevin was transitioning out of the military, and at that time, military members were not allowed to grow a beard. So for the first time in his life, he was allowed. So he started growing the beard and started encountering all of the products that we've come to learn men go through when they're growing the beard. Proceeded to go to a local pharmacy, found some products that said beard oil, brought them home. Me being a holistic nutritionist, I read ingredients, I read labels, that is just what I do. Was reading the ingredients, was pregnant at the time and refused to have those products in the house. So he kind of put it to me to, well, let's make some then. We did some research, found what ingredients made a good beard oil and started experimenting. Kevin started using product, really changed the itchy, the dry, flaky. His friends actually started to notice and wanted some. So I started making some for Kevin and his friends. So I said, well, I can't continue to do this, but it seems like there's a market for it. Let's look into that a little bit.
At what point did you decide, okay, this is not just something I want to cook in my kitchen for my partner, this is something that has real business potential?
When friends wanted some and then friends of friends, basically we started selling it to them and then making labels, doing research into that, and then we applied to the Summer Institute, and that really elevated our business mindset.
Tell me about Summer Institute. What's that?
They choose entrepreneurs from all across the globe, basically, and it's like drinking from a fire hose. You just learn from so many angles.
So you started just the two of you, and now you've expanded. How many employees do you have now?
We have a social media manager, office manager, and production manager.
Prior to COVID, we had 4, and then we've been able to bring 2 back in-house.
Tell me about your process, the trial and error, or the process of coming up with the formulas.
For us, it does take quite a bit longer to come up with new products because everything is all natural and organic. So for us, it's really a lot of trial and error. We do also work with a chemist who will come in and do things like make sure pH balance, just make sure it's a safe product.
Do you have regulations that would govern your products because they're used, on body and on hair and skin?
We do, yep. So Health Canada regulations we follow.
And going into like exporting markets into Europe, we need different certifications.
It may seem like a simple question to say, who's your main clientele? Clearly, your main clientele is someone who chooses to have, a beard or a mustache or facial hair. But how do you find those people that have facial hair that want to use your products?
Right now, we don't run a lot of paid ads, mostly word of mouth, and it's worked super well.
We have retailers mainly in barbershops, high-end men's retail stores, and health food stores.
Products would be good for my store.
Is your focus for your business on retail or wholesale?
Prior COVID, it would have been fully wholesale. We're mostly a wholesale company, but with COVID, we had to kind of change a little bit. We still focus majority on the B2B side. But with COVID, a lot of people don't want to go shop into stores, so they've been buying directly from us.
So B2B, business to business, is one of your main thrusts then?
That's correct.
I feel like the possibilities are endless, and really excited to continue to expand and then, yes, eventually be acquired.
So what do you find challenging as entrepreneurs?
It never shuts off. Like owning a business, you're just always thinking about new ideas and how to make better systems.
In particular, when your partner is your partner.
As entrepreneurs, we have to really kind of check ourselves when it comes to our lives.
Every business does experience challenges, but as a startup, how do you think those challenges are different?
I think the learning curve is incredible. Thankfully in Fredericton, it seems like there is just an abundance of business support programs like the Chamber, like the Summer Institute, Ignite Fredericton, Planet Hatch.
When you decided to start your business, did you find it challenging to access capital?
Well, no, because we have been self-funded. So we haven't really taken on an investor. We haven't got a lot of capital, so we have very much been self-funded.
Every business experiences some growing pains. What is the growing pain or the place that you're at right now?
Right now, we kind of stepped like 15 steps back just to make our systems better.
Up to this point, we've been very handcrafted. We've poured all of our balms, we've poured all of our oils, and so we've started to put together and maybe start to buy pieces that can help us as far as time. But we're at the space where we need to start considering what's the next level.
What's the most difficult thing that you've experienced as business owners that you never thought would be an issue?
For me, I think it comes back to the time management, just really choosing, like, do I take this really important call or pick my son up from daycare?
So as you were beginning your journey, what was the best piece of advice you were given?
There is a philosophy that I tend to live by, and it's that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is right now.
Tell me about your community involvement.
So since March 15th, 25% of our sales have gone to the Fredericton Community Kitchens, specifically for the school breakfast program. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of children in our very own community relied on that program to have breakfast every morning when they went to school. When the schools were closed, where does that leave us?
What do you have planned for the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years?
So we're launching candle lines for each scent that we have. Just because people love the smell of it, so we thought candles would go very well with the brand.
We're always looking for great companies with a unique story to feature on the show. If you have suggestions, please get in touch with us.